Hello and welcome to my studio. This is Jim, and I'm glad you could join me today. This is a little different today. The sketch I'm going to do, it's a portrait of myself when I was camping. And if you're interested in seeing the whole video of me camping, you can check out my other channel. I'll leave a link in the description. But this is a clip I captured from video, the YouTube video. As I was saying in my previous video, it makes a difference if you can make a connection to the subject that you are sketching. And this definitely brings back really good memories and feelings from when I went camping. I had done this sketch once before, just as an ink sketch, and it went really well, and I really enjoyed doing it. So later on I thought, well, maybe I'll do one for my channel. I tried to do it and it just didn't come out. The feeling wasn't there. So even though the subject matter is close to you, and you can get certain good vibes from it, you also have bad days. So there's a lot of factors that you have to take into account when you're drawing. Not every day is a good drawing day. Some days I do 3 or 4 drawings and none of them I'm happy with. And I go read a book or watch a YouTube video or something instead. But everybody has those days. And then there are some days that everything just kind of flows from your pen and kind of makes itself. You notice sometimes, and I noticed after when I was editing the video, that I really don't worry about crossing lines. See that line of the leg went right through the arm, but that doesn't really matter because it all looks good in the end. And it's more that you're trying to get the overall feeling and sense of what you're trying to capture in the sketch. That's more important than the individual lines. There are parts of this drawing, especially in the drawing myself, where the proportions are a little off. But that, because I captured the overall feeling that I was trying to get, it doesn't matter. As a whole drawing, it works. I even made a mistake on the my shoulder there. I had it a little bit too square, too large, so that line I just put in there rounded off the shoulder. Both lines are still there, but really it gets lost in the overall picture and you don't really notice it. In other words, little mistakes aren't that big a deal. kind of like something I'd like to be able to do in real life. Just pass over mistakes and let them blend into the whole picture. Because in the big picture, it really doesn't matter. But drawing and real life, even though there are connections, they're a bit different. This is my cash box stove. Something I've made just from a regular old cash box that had broken. I think the lock was broken or something on it. So I repurposed it as a little cook stove, a little kind of a fireplace for camping. And through my other videos, my other channel, it got quite a following. It's nothing fancy, it just does the job and reflects the heat and contains the fire and the ashes, doesn't make a mess of the forest. And when everything is cooled down, you can just dispose of the ashes in a hole or whatever, and leave no trace in the forest, which is really important to me. Even when you're camping in provincial parks or anything like that, there are sometimes fire rings that are just out of control over the years. And sometimes there could even be multiple fire rings for no other reason than somebody wanted a bigger one when they were camping. But that's not the kind of camping I like. It's more of a minimalist, taking care of nature kind of camping, leaving no trace. If everybody could be like that, we'd have a pristine wilderness, but unfortunately, humans being what they are, this is my cedar strip canoe, which I built quite a while ago, I think in 1998. We had an ice storm in Ontario that year, and one of the things was knocked down on our property were some cedars. So I had a neighbor come in after a while and saw them up with his portable sawmill into boards. And then I sawed them into little strips and made a cedar strip canoe. So even that part of the drawing is very personal to me, and gives me good feelings anytime I see the canoe. And I hope through sharing this sketch I can share some of those feelings with you. This drawing is mainly an ink drawing, and I do a minimal amount of watercolor painting on it after. This is in real time, and I'm doing the hatching there on the trees, one line after another, lifting the pen nib each time, not going back and forth continually in touch with the paper. You can do it either way, of course, but lifting the pen off the paper each time, you can make parallel lines instead of squiggly lines, I guess you could say. Gives it more of a uniform look. Now it's a lot of interpretation of the photograph when you're doing a drawing like this. So just picking the darker areas, the shadow areas, and the various shades of darkness and lightness. Just taking those and interpreting those simply into lines. I really liked the way the still from the movie captured the flames as well, coming from the stove. I imagine this is when I just had started the fire and it was just burning the kindling, because I don't usually have a big roaring fire. So this is mainly for film effect, I think. And then after it burns down and I cook my food on it, which you can see in the movie if you really want to see my other channel. I use the good old hatching of the forest in the background, just to give the idea that there is trees and a dense forest behind me. It gives a sense of place, environment where you're camping. Making sure it's just a little bit darker than the trees, so that the trees do stand up against it. Could have done a lot more shading and detail, but I wanted to keep the emphasis on the main subject as me and the fireplace. So leaves, although there are a lot of leaves and sticks and stuff around, I just used a very basic squiggly kind of a line looking thing to portray that part of the scenery. And then, as always, it's good to get some nice contrast going, especially in the main area, because that's where your eye will go to. The viewer's eye is into the area of most contrast, so a little bit more darkness there. And just give the hint of my glasses there, and a little bit of more dark underneath the brim of the hat. So many parts of this picture are important to me. Even the hat has been with me for a while now on my camping trips. The stove, the canoe, even my canoe box there. You'll see that I have a box that I'm making, cutting vegetables or whatever I'm doing, and that I made that box from an old toolbox handed down from my father to me, and I think it was his dad's too. So even though it was in bad repair, I fixed it up a little bit and made it a useful thing, but a useful thing with a story behind it, with emotion behind it too. A nice connection to have, I think. The painting I do on this one is very minimal, just to give it a little bit of color. I could have left it as an ink drawing as well, as most of the work that I do, or the pieces that I do, they could stand alone as well as ink drawings. So depending on what you're trying to achieve or show or whatever. And some nice dark colors add to the contrast and the shading. Anyway, this has been a pleasure sharing this with you and sharing some of my thoughts. And as usual, I love to get comments, thoughts from other people, so please drop me a line. I want to keep my channel interesting, so I'll probably do a variety of subjects, some of them nature and some of them buildings, man-made stuff. But thank you as always for watching, and please come again, and take care, everybody.